G'day everyone, and welcome to another day of virtual safaris. We just found a nice big herd of elephants, and they're all just grazing and browsing along at the moment, so not moving at a fast pace. A nice big cow just behind me with her little calf next to her. You can see there's a little calf on the right. Now with calves, if it's a female, they will stay with the herd, and if it's males, they will get pushed out. That's all to help that there's no interbreeding happening. So if the bulls had to stay with the herds, they'll eventually start mating with their relatives, which will cause interbreeding. Just look at the pure size of this elephant's skull and the head. Now elephants, if they had to have a solid bone structure in the head, that head would have been way too heavy for them to carry around. Now what they have is like a cell structure, like it looks like a bee comb. So it's got all these little air pockets in between the bone, which makes the skull a lot lighter and easier to carry around, but it's still super strong. Actually, here's some communication going on in the herd where there's some stomach rumbles all around. What you'll see is this female's breaking off quite a nice big branch of this buffalo thorn. And what she'll do is she's probably going to put it in her mouth and chew on it. And as she's chewing on it, it turns. And what she's doing is she's getting rid of all the outer layers of that branch, which is a dead bark dry section. And she's getting to what we call the cambium. And that's where all the nice and juicy layers of nutrients are. Let's see if it comes out clean on the other side. And there it is, a very well stripped branch. Let's look at the pure strength of this cow. Incredible. Now what you'll find with elephants, when they're born, they have two incisors, which they lose within the first year, and then you'll start seeing tusks growing, and at once they'll have up to 24 teeth in their mouth, which are mainly consisting of molars, which they use to then take off that bark. So you've got a really large bull elephant in musth. You can see the temporal glands secreting. Interesting, this guy is he's got no right tusk, and then his left tusk is broken down quite far in. Now this would be with fighting with other bulls, especially in this time when they're in musth. They're super aggressive. So if they walk into other bulls that are also in musth, they could have massive fights. And the force of these giants hitting each other, they can break those tusks, which are made out of ivory. So it's a lot of force to break that. Now, interesting is elephants' tusks, they keep on growing over their life. And you could say they grow anything up to about 8 to 12 centimeters in a year. But at the age this guy is at, probably won't see much more tusk coming out. You can see the herd your herd is a bit nervous, that there's a big bull in musth just behind this thicket in the river. So they will all be on edge, just keeping a distance from him. And that loud scream you heard was from one of the babies who were trying to get up that hill, and he was slipping down. And Mom came to the rescue and pushed him up with her front legs. Here's the big bull coming, who's in musth. Alright, so we've just come across this beautiful Nile crocodile. This guy's lying outside the river, so he's busy heating up. Now crocodiles, they are reptiles, and they are cold-blooded. Now the reason why he needs to lie in the sun is they don't have their own temperature regulating system, and that's why they'll come out, heat up, get their muscles to work, and then they'll head back into the water. Just down the road we've got pretty nice male lion tracks heading in that direction. We're going to be following it and hopefully see if we can find these guys. Looks like two males that's walked here. Just driving along following lion tracks, we came across a beautiful big male leopard up a tree, and the lion tracks go straight past him, and he's constantly looking in kind of a westerly direction. So it might be that the lions chased him up the tree and they kept on going. So we'll stay with this guy and then afterwards go and see where these lion tracks are heading. Looks like he wants to come out of the tree now, and you can just see how good they are at climbing trees and up and down. You'll see now if he comes down, he'll do a slow little run and just jump the last bit. This is the dominant male. We've seen him before. His name is Shovo Nakele. We call him Shovo. You can see his right ear is flopped over. He's looking in really good condition though, for his age. So he's like 14 years old, which is pretty old for a male. Alright, so with him jumping out of the tree, he's now gone down into the Sabi River, and we're not going to be following him down there. We're just going to head up along the road and see where these lion tracks go. We also heard Impala's alarm calling, so they shouldn't be too far away from us. This lion is on a serious mission. He's walking really fast along the road. Interesting is he's just stopped and smelled something. Looks like there's buffalo dung on the road. Now, lions and leopards will normally do it. When they find buffalo dung, they go lick it and then they'll roll around in it. Any theory behind them doing that is kind of getting rid of their scent. So when they walk around, they almost smell like a buffalo, which is pretty crazy. So watch how he rolls around in that buffalo dung. That. Alright, so we've eventually caught up with this male. It's a young male. He's probably about 2.5 years old. But he's been moving really fast. So I think he probably walked into those other males and got chased, because most of the tracks we were following was running. And you can also see the way he walks. He's putting his back paw way forward of the front paw. Means he's in quite a mission. Hear the impala snorting. No interest in hunting, it's just the impala snorting, not letting him know that they know he's here. Alright, so what an action-packed morning. So we've left that young male lion. It looks like he could be part of that Sand River Pride sub-adults that got kicked out a while ago. So he's on quite a mission. He's quite nervous with those other males that probably chased him off. So we'll be leaving him and we'll be heading back to the lodge. So that was an insane morning. Good morning and welcome to another morning of Virtual Safaris. We've headed west along the Sabi River and we've just heard lions calling north of us. And we also had a leopard roaring not too far away from that. So we're going to be heading up there and try and see if we can't find any tracks. Alright, so we were driving around and we heard an impala alarm calling in the distance, and as we got there the smell was lying just off the road. I suspect it was him that was roaring because he's on his own, so he's probably still looking for the other males. Quite alert, looking all over the place. Interesting, now you can actually see these beautiful white lines underneath his eyes. So in the daytime this helps with reflecting the bright light away from their eyes, so they can still see well. And then in the evenings, that white actually allows a bit of light to enter the eye, which makes night vision a lot better for them in the evenings. We'll see how this is going to play out. There's quite a few lions roaring pretty much all over the place. There's one lion that just joined this male, that young male, just behind him. And then we've got another male calling just behind us. And then it sounds like two lions calling across the river, not too far from us. It sounds like they're getting closer to us. Alright, so the other male has just found these two brothers. Looks like they're gonna rub heads and it's a meet and greet ritual. Now when they lie like this, they'll also do something called allo grooming, where they'll groom and clean each other. It's a lot of licking and lying on top of each other, just building that relationship between them. Okay, so we've just sitting here with the three males. They've all come together now and they've moved off a little bit and stop and rest and groom, and then they move again. So we're just going to stay with them for the morning and see where they go. There's still lions roaring towards the riverside. It sounded like two lions. It could be those two females from the Southern Pride. I'm 100% sure, but we'll go around that side when these guys decide to lie down and see if we can't find anything. So we are getting a bit more movement from these males. They slowly starting to groom themselves and there's a bit of scratching going on and yawning. Every now and then they're still looking back towards the river. Might be that the other male is also still down there somewhere. So we hope that all of them join up soon. Okay, so the bigger male's up.